Overview. In this lesson, you will learn about the use of the verbals infinitive and participle. What is a verbal? A verbal is the form of a verb which functions like a noun, an adjective, and an adverb. It can be distinguished from the verb by its function. Let us read this sentence and identify the verb and the verbal. A rolling stone gathers no moss. In this sentence, gathers is the verb, and rolling is a verbal that states more about the noun. In this sentence, the noun is a stone. Think about the base verb in the word rolling. It is roll. Now the variation of the base verb roll here is rolling. Now look at how it is used in context. What type of a stone? Rolling. Hence, the verbal, which is a form of a verb, in this sentence plays the role of an adjective. Reading is his favorite pastime. In this sentence, is the verb, and reading is a verbal that is the subject of the verb is. Pastime is the noun. Therefore, we can say that the verbal plays the role of a noun in this sentence. So, what have we learnt about a verbal so far? We have learnt that a verbal is a verb form. It performs the function of a noun or adverb. Let's look at the types of verbals there are. There are three types of verbals. They are infinitives, participles, and gerunds. You will learn about infinitives and participles in this lesson. Gerunds will be covered in lesson 6. A simple sentence can have more than one verb, but that verb must be in a modified or a changed form. If we use the preposition to before any present form of a verb, the combination is known as infinitive. For example, to talk, to play, to see, to listen, to make, etc. To see is an infinitive. We will now read a sentence where the infinitive is doing the job of a verb. I came to see your dance performance. Let's look at some other sentences. Her father taught her to play tennis. He wanted to go abroad for higher studies. Now let us understand the other features of an infinitive. Infinitives can play a number of roles. These roles are determined by the position of the infinitive within the sentence. An infinitive can be used as a noun. When an infinitive acts as a subject or object of a verb, it plays the role of a noun. For example, to err is human.
To read is a good habit.
To forgive is divine.
To know him is to like him.
The infinitive acts as a noun when it is the object of the verb in a sentence. For example,
She likes to swim.
the teacher is always ready to help.
Shashi went to the library to read.
The infinitive acts as a noun when it is used as a complement of a verb. For example,
His health goal is to walk daily.
in this sentence, is the verb. The infinitive in this sentence is to walk. The infinitive to walk goes with the verb is. Her choice is to dance for exercise. The infinitive also acts as a noun when it is used as the object of a preposition. For example, the cricket match is about to start. In this sentence, the word about is the preposition.
I had no choice but to shout.
The infinitive is also used after certain verbs like attempt, case, choose, fail, hesitate, hope, manage, neglect, plan, prepare, proceed, refuse, encourage, and many more. For example,
He attempted to complete his work on time. She hoped to complete her post graduation soon.
participles. What is a participle? When we add ing to any present form of a verb, it is called a participle. You have already had some experiences with participles in the continuous forms of verbs under lessons 3 and 4 on tenses. Basically, there are two types of participles: present participle and past participle. The present participle is active in meaning. That is, it shows action going on. The present participle ends in ing and expresses action or an action in progress. It also does the work of an adjective. In other words, it tells us more about the noun. We shall now look at some participles. A sleeping tiger, a crying baby. These are examples of present participles. So now we know that the present participle ends in ing and expresses action or an action in progress. It also does the work of an adjective. In other words, it tells us more about the noun.
The crying baby had blue eyes.
The burning log fell to the ground.
He was singing in the bathroom.
It was an interesting film. Past participles end in ed, en, t, d, or n and refers to action already having been completed. It also acts as an adjective. A burnt toast,
A painted doll.
a broken window,
A stricken look.
the past participle is passive in meaning. In other words, it is inactive. It does not show action that is happening now. For example,
Taken by surprise, the victim handed over all her money to the thug.
my mother spent all her free time on practicing vocal music when she was young. Participles can be used to connect two sentences. Look at these two sentences. Meera fell on the ground. She cried for her mother. We may combine these two sentences by using a present participle. We can say the sentence like this.
Falling on the ground, Mira cried for her mother.
Another way of writing this sentence would be,
Mira cried for her mother upon falling on the ground.
let's practice a few other examples.
I entered the room. I saw a letter on the floor.
Now you try to combine these two sentences using a present participle. You could have said,
Entering the room, I saw a letter on the floor.
or you could have said,
I saw the letter on the floor upon entering the room.
both ways were correct. Let's try combining two more sentences.
My sister waved out to me. She rode away on her bike.
You could have said,
Riding away on her bike, my sister waved out to me.
you could also have said,
Waving out to me, my sister rode away on her bike.
you may have realized by now that placing the present participle in the beginning or in the middle of a sentence does not really change the meaning of the sentence. Let us now look at the uses of a participle. Participles are used along with auxiliary verbs be and have to make perfect passive verb forms. Think about what you know about the perfect tenses. Now think about what you know about not being active, that is, about not happening now. Let's look at these examples.
It was raining when I got home.
In this sentence, something was happening when I got home. The words when I got home indicate the perfect past tense. We use the verb was before the word raining as the auxiliary. Please remember, was is a form of the verb be. Here is another example.
I have forgotten how to ride a bike.
A participle can also be used as an adjective. For example,
Parul has a fractured foot.
what kind of foot? Fractured foot. The word fractured tells us more about the noun, which is foot. Therefore, it acts as an adjective.
I heard the sound of falling rain.
Now you answer this one yourself. What kind of rain? Yes, falling rain. Do you now understand why it acts as an adjective here? Sometimes a participle can be used as an adverb. For example, she ran screaming down the street. How did she run? Screaming. The word tells us how some action or verb was done. Therefore, the word screaming acts like an adverb. A participle can be part of an adjective phrase. An adjective phrase is a phrase that tells us more about a noun. It does not necessarily have to have an adjective in it. For example,
Having lost the match, the cricket team went home.
in what state was the cricket team when it went home? It had lost the match. Can you identify the participle in the adjective phrase? Yes, having is the participle in the adjective phrase having lost the match. Now let's look at two more sentences.
Who is the man sitting in the corner? Encouraged by the director, he decided to pursue his MBA.
Let us now review what you have learned today. In this lesson, you have learned that a verbal is a form of a noun. There are three kinds of verbals: infinitive, participle, and gerund. An infinitive can be easily identified by the word to that comes just before the base form of a verb. A participle is a modified or a changed form of a basic verb. And infinitives and participles can be used in many ways. You may now use this time to read the reference reading material that goes with this lesson. Thank you.